You're constantly correcting my pronunciation, and I think you're errant. I decided to bring somebody in who actually knows about linguistics, and I believe you're a big fan of his YouTube channel. I'm talking about Luke Ranieri.
Oh, yes. Excellent man.
Here he is. Hello, Luke. How are you?
I'm great, Conan. How you doing?
Well, I don't know how familiar you are with my dynamic with Jordan Schlansky, but for many years now, he and I have sort of like the coyote and the roadrunner. We've been at war. We disagree about a lot of things. Jordan is constantly correcting my pronunciation of certain words. There are times where I'm convinced he's wrong. He thought instead of tango, the word was tongo. I don't know where you weigh in on that one, whether it's tango or tongo.
Well, in Spanish, it's tango, so that's a short ah sound, and a short ah can go either towards ah.
Oh, I know. I know it could be tango, but it's not. He was saying tongo, the way Tarzan would name a fellow ape. Hey, Tongo, come here. Would you agree that Tongo would be incorrect? It could be Tongo, a quicker A. I accept that, but I will not accept Tongo.
I liked your Spanish pronunciation when you said tango. That sounded good to me.
Tango, sí, pero es importante que nosotros... Claro que sí, claro que sí.
Dios mío.
Oh, Dios mío, sí, oh.
As for English, I think you go a lot of ways.
Okay, would you just please agree with me before we proceed that Tongo, T-O-N-G-O with a long...
No, I never spelled it T-O-N-G-O. It's El Tango. It's El Tango. I didn't make the word up. I'm only reciting it.
Luke.
There's no shortage of Spanish-speaking people in this town. You've got a celebrity here. You've got one of the few men on earth that can currently speak Latin, both classical and ecclesiastical, and you're asking about Spanish. We have 10 people in the building that speak fluent Spanish.
Luke?
You're wasting this man's time.
Would you say tango or would you say tongo?
Tongo sounds too much like the Ferengi game from Star Trek Deep Space
Thank you
Nine.
so much. Now, before we continue, I'd like to know how to pronounce your name. Is it Luke Ranieri or is it Ranieri? What do you prefer?
So in English, I do Ranieri.
Boo.
And in Italian, it's
good.
Ranieri.
I think Ranieri sounds better.
I like it fine.
And how do you go with Luke? Are you Luke? Like, Luke, I am your father. That would please my compatriot here, who's a big Star Wars fan. It's his religion.
Me too.
Do you go with Luke or just Luke? I have a brother
Luke
and I call him Luke. Okay.
You're not going to divide us. We have a pre-existing relationship. Do you understand? You're the odd. I see where you're trying to go with this. I'm going to spoiler alert right now. He and I are aligned.
Oh, really?
Okay?
Have you ever?
We may have
you guys are aligned.
We may have small differences like any human beings do.
Have you ever danced the tango together?
Yeah.
Well, gentlemen, later we may have a chance to test this and
good.
With a little bit of a competition. We'll find out later.
Okay, now there are some words I think you and I have spoken before.
Okay.
You'll often give me what you say is the correct Latin pronunciation of certain words.
I do the best I can.
Or names, like Julius Caesar. We say Julius Caesar, and what do you say, Jordan?
Gaius Julius Geyser.
He says Gaius Julius Geyser.
No, that's not what I said.
What did you say?
No, I said Gaius Julius Geyser.
Okay. And is that correct, Luke?
For a classical Latin pronunciation, I think that's very good.
Now, do you think...
You're not going to win here. I see where you're trying to go. Keep trying.
No, but...
Now, is it perfect? No, of course not. Is it better than what you throwing out of that pie hole? Of course it is.
So my speaking is hurling things out of a pie hole.
I have a real agenda with this man. If we have his time, I have questions, okay? I know you have bits that you have planned.
I'm not doing bits.
I'd like him to rattle off every astrological sign in Latin. I'd like you to tell me how to pronounce Tyrannosaurus Rex in Latin. I want to know how to say Brontosaurus. I want to know...
Okay, all right, okay. I'll take
I have
care
real
of you.
questions here.
Okay.
All right? I think our viewers would
I'm going to blow past the
yeah.
astrological signs because that's just cheesy and you're probably going to use that on some dating website. Tyrannosaurus Rex. What would be the correct way to say Tyrannosaurus Rex?
Tyrannosaurus Rex with a classical Latin pronunciation.
That's a real deal breaker for me. I mean, you're talking to a kid. Let's say you're talking to a kid and you just want to say, let's go to the museum. I don't want to go. No, come on. It's really cool. They have a T-Rex there. Oh, cool. I will go to the museum. I love a T-Rex. Jordan, when he's talking to his kids, he's going to say, do you want to come see a Tyrannosaurus Rex? And the kid's going to go, no, I don't. And so your kids are never going to see a natural history museum in their lives.
Okay.
Because you're such a freak.
Okay.
Brontosaurus. How do you say it?
Brontosaurus. From the word bronte, meaning thunder in Greek. And, of course, the saurus means a lizard or a reptile.
Of course.
Do you know that you're not an Aries, you're an Aries?
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't
Well,
know
now
that.
you learned something new. And you could, for the rest of your life, you'll
And
know
you
that
are,
you're
what is your
I'm
sign?
an Aries too.
Yeah.
Well, you're April 18th. You should know my birthday. It's 5 days before yours. I share it with Max Weinberg.
I don't know your birthday.
Okay.
Because
Well,
I don't want to know your birthday.
Maybe after 30 years, it's time that you learn these things. You could have wished me well.
Happy belated birthdays.
Why don't you test us on the pronunciations of historical Greek and Roman names? Do you think that's maybe a good test for the both of us? And we'll see.
I think that's a great idea.
Let's try that.
What we're going to do, we're going to play a little game.
Okay.
And you'll both get the chance to steal. Mm-hmm. Now, let's start with, speaking of the assassination of Julius Caesar. Here was one of the men behind it. Now,
yes.
Conan, we're going to start with you. What you can pronounce his whole name or just that? We'll call it last name.
Well, he was stabbed by Brutus, and so I'm just going to say it was Brutus.
And now you got to try to do it in a classical Latin pronunciation, best you can.
Marcus Junius Brutus. Was that it?
Not bad. Not bad.
I did it the stupidest way I could think of, and you said that was pretty close. Now you go for it there, Chimpy.
I would go with Marcus Junius Brutus.
Okay, I'm going to give that point to Jordan.
So when he said you too, Brutus, he was saying et tu Brutus?
Brute.
Brute.
Et tu brute.
So you too,
Yeah, like,
Brutus. Okay.
Yeah. Like
That's a lot to get out
brute.
while you're, I mean, he was bleeding out of, I think, maybe 35 different knife wounds. And he had to get all that out.
Some historians say he didn't say anything. Others said he, in fact, said in Greek, kai shuteknon, and you, my child, and you, my son.
Yeah.
And others, et tu brute is another
There's one,
rendition.
and also there's one account where he just went, what the fuck? What the fuck?
Speaking of Brutus, this was his wife. How is this pronounced in Latin? Jordan, we're going to start with you. Classical Latin
Classical
pronunciation.
Latin, Porcia.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd go
very
ecclesiastical, I'd go Porcia.
I'm going to go Porcia.
Not bad, but I think I'm going to have to give that point to Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
We call her Portia.
I see how
we
this,
usually
I see
spell
the
with a
fixes
T
in
English.
Okay.
Yeah,
going.
it means a little piglet.
Oh, that's a nice. That's great. That's great. That's some real misogyny there from Brutus. Hey, little piglet, come here. That's nice. Women love it when you call them little piglet. I'm gonna go home tonight to my wife and say, "Hey there, little piglet."
You know, it's even worse because, in a way, women in ancient Rome didn't get their own names. The usual name that they were called was just the feminine version of their father's family tribe name.
They wonder why that empire fell and is no more. When you don't treat the women right, the empire crumbles. A word of warning.
Well, how about a poet or two?
Okay.
Let's start with this one. First, Conan, can you guess what we call this poet in English? Because it's a little bit different.
I'm going to say in English, it's Virgilius.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Virgil. Very good.
Yeah.
And what can you do your best classical Latin pronunciation, Conan?
Vergilius.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad. You know what? It's because you guessed it was Virgil. And the Vergilius sounded pretty good. We pronounced the V as a W.
I was going to go that way. I could have gone that way, but I knew that it was a fork in the road and I could take either one.
I like that. That was good.
I think I get that
All right.
point. We don't even have to try, Jordan.
I'm giving that point. Just so you know, we're keeping score. This is a free and fair game show, so this is all,
Okay.
it's all
Very
correct
nice.
and above board.
Of the game shows that have existed in the world, this might be the worst. But, and I say that with kindness, but let's continue.
And that may be. Well, let's take this one. Jordan, what poet is this in English? What do we call him in English?
Horatio in English?
Not usually.
Oh.
It's Horace.
Conan is correct. And how would we pronounce this in classical Latin, Jordan?
Horatius.
Horatius? Yeah.
I had
Very
it first.
good.
I'm sorry. You got to give me both of those points.
I'll
Because
give you both a point.
I knew it was Horace. He didn't even know who it was. Well, how many points do we have now?
We have 3-2. Jordan's in the lead.
Okay, let's go one more time, and you have to ask me first.
Let's do a Greek one. This is a mythological figure.
Mm-hmm. Of course, well, we would know him as Odysseus.
Right. Very good.
But in the Greek, it would be Odysseus. Odysseus. Ulysses, get to the chopper. It's not a tumor. Odysseus. 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 What do you think? We get it in there?
Yes, you are. Yeah, definitely getting there. Jordan.
Well, first of all, we know Odysseus was Ulysses in Rome. And despite the pronunciation, which I'm not familiar with, I will tell you that a lot of people know about the Iliad, but do they also know about the Odyssey? Do people know that nobody could string Odysseus's bow except his son Telemachus, or is it Telemachus? And he had all these suitors coming after his wife, and he had a dog, and the dog was the only one that recognized. They thought he was dead, and he comes back, and the dog is the only one that recognizes him, and all these suitors are trying to string this bow, but they can't string the bow. And then Odysseus gets up there in disguise, and he strings the bow, and he executes the suitors, and everyone lives happily ever after.
If you were on the street in, say, San Diego, and it was 2:00 in the morning, and you said all of that, the police would put a blanket around you, and they would take you to a shelter, and you'd be medicated.
Right.
And the body cam footage would totally exonerate those policemen.
I understand.
You just raved like an absolute fucking lunatic.
Yeah.
And even, I mean, you have the safety of being on a Zoom, Luke, but even you retreated somewhat from the camera. Wasn't that a little bit frightening, the intensity of that speech?
Well, it's kind of like, Tower of Terror. Sometimes frightening is enjoyable.
There are people out there that appreciate me. You need to understand
I just
that.
haven't met them.
I'm
sure there are.
polarizing individual.
Yeah, there's a Yeti. There's a Yeti out there, and I haven't met it.
Yeah.
I've heard tell, but no one has footage. I have never seen even a photograph of someone who enjoys what you're saying.
Right. What I'm saying is, I am polarizing. I understand that. There are people...
polarizing means half are with you, half are against you.
That's right.
You aren't polarizing. No. You are completely alienating.
Okay.
No one is in your corner. I've never met anybody who's in your corner.
Okay.
Ever.
All right.
Ever.
I understand.
Ever.
The people that dislike me, I get it. I really do.
That's called humanity. That's called humanity.
Okay.
That's the population of Earth.
Yeah. But the people that can tolerate me, I get you too.
I'd like to meet them.